What's going on, fellow squeaky ninjas out there? Today I'm just going to do a very brief unboxing and give my initial impressions of the Switch's hardware. So here's the box. It's a pretty basic rectangle. It's actually quite small. And as you open it up inside, you can see you got the Joy-Cons, the left and right on the left side, and the tablet on the right. Got these instructions that are along the front side of the box there once you're inside. And they came nicely wrapped in plastic. I mean, maybe a little more padding would have been nice. They literally just have the tablet sitting there in this cardboard emplacement there. So then once we get inside here, you can see him taking out the tab from the plastic wrapping. It does have that nice new fresh smell. And it's really small. It's probably around the size of, I want to say, my Nexus 6P without the controllers on the sides, like as you're seeing it right now. So you got the branding on the back. D-Brand actually came out and gave a quick PSA not to put any skins on this device as it has a special coating on it that will wear down in your racket. So here's the Joy-Con. This is the left Joy-Con. You got the little share button at the bottom there. It's actually got a little bit of weight to it, a little more than I was expecting. It feels really, really good in the hands. And that's the button right there that you can see, which you push in and you slide it off the rail. So it's really nice. The buttons are clicky, maybe in between, I'd say, the 3DS and the Wii U controller. Feels really cool, really light. The shoulder buttons, you get a little bit cramped, though, when you're trying to push those. And they feel a little bit weird. I don't know how to explain it here. I'm gonna grab the right Joy-Con now. So here we go, taking this out of the plastic. Feels nice, just like the other one. You got the home button here. That's the only actual difference. And it's you got the button there, flipping it around, feels good. You also have the plus and minus buttons at the top. Forgot to mention that. That's essentially your start and select buttons. So they're really, I find the left Joy-Con, the minus button, negative button, I'm not quite sure what the technical term is. It's a little bit difficult to push because you have the analog stick protruding right beside it. So you gotta kind of get it with your nail. Next up here, we are reaching for the HDMI cable. Once again, it's bagged and it has the little black, I don't know what you call it, the little black cable that keeps it connected. They're nice ones that they're silver plated, I believe, and you know, they get the job done. Basic HDMI. Here you have the actual charging cable for the Switch. You only get one in the box, so if you plan on taking the Switch somewhere with you, I recommend picking up another one of these unless you want to consistently unplug it from the dock over and over whenever you leave and come back home. It's USB Type-C, so it's reversible, and it's really nice. Got a good heft to it. Feels like a really well-built charger cable. It's also got that Nintendo branding there. So next up, you have the Joy-Con grips. So you have it basically extends the Joy-Con. It gives you clickier, easier to press buttons. And the only issue with this, though, is that you can possibly put it in the incorrect way. You want to line up the plus and the plus, and negative and the negative. You can put it in the wrong way. You can jam it in, and what happens is you can't really get it out, and the idea is you just want to keep pulling it the way you got it in to get it out. So that was a good PSA that was noticed on Reddit. It also has a lock at the bottom there. You can see a little white thing by the strap, and you can kind of flick that in and it won't let it be slid out, I believe. So this is just me clicking it in. Everything does have very loud audible clicks, which is refreshing. And you can actually, it's possible to slide the sticks in and feel like it's actually in, and even the software will give you the clicking prompt, but it's not true. You have to actually click it all the way until you hear a loud audible click, and you can feel it too. And yeah, when this isn't on top, it's much easier to hold the Joy-Cons. The buttons are nice, it feels good. It's a little bit cramped, but I mean, it gets the job done. So next up, here's the manual here. It's just a very brief manual, a couple different languages. I literally just tossed that aside. It doesn't really matter to me. Next, you have the Joy-Con grip. Remember, this does not actually charge your Joy-Cons. This is just a slide in your left and right Joy-Con to make it a little more comfortable to hold. It simulates the controller. It feels kind of like the Wii U Pro controller mixed with like an old 360 controller, but it's pretty good. See, I'm just clicking them in right there. It feels good in the hand. I still have the same issue though, that it's not prevalent on the left side, but the right side, the joystick being below the face buttons. What happens is as you reach your button down to hit that joystick, your hand starts to really cramp up. And if you try to get the shoulder buttons on the right side while reaching down to get the analog stick, your hand is almost like you're like bending it backwards into this really awkward claw. So I'm not sure if like I can build a muscle memory to get adjusted to that, but it really hurts my hand, and that's why I'm kind of flailing around like that. Next up here, we're gonna pull out the actual dock itself, the heart and soul of the TV pass-through here. So they wrapped this up better than the actual console itself, which was kind of weird. They gave you like that additional padding. You got the nice imprinted Switch logo there. You can actually like touch your finger over it and feel it. They're actually baked into it. Got your 2 USB ports on the side there. This thing flips down. It's kind of cool. So you can put in your HDMI, the charging cable. You got an additional USB, and you can actually run the cables right inside there and along it. I actually really like the build quality of this. It feels really solid, really nice. It's got the little feet on the bottom, so when you put it on the surface, it doesn't really wiggle around. It stays put. And the Switch does slide in really easily, and you can literally just like pull it right out. It's so seamless. It's so simple. And next up here, I'm going to slide the Joy-Cons in. So 1 second. There we go. And you gotta see, push it in that little extra bit, and that gives it that loud audible click. And the software, if it was on, you would hear it as well. And I'm just being goofy there, trying to put it from the bottom, but here we go. Clicking it from the top. Click. And it feels sturdy when they're on. I'm gonna hold it here with one hand. See, feels good. Doesn't feel like it's gonna snap off. I wouldn't recommend doing that, however. And it feels good in the hand. It feels like a giant kind of wooden plank, I guess you could put it. But it's good. You know, the buttons are good. It's solid. It's light. It's a little bit bigger than your phone now with those 2 things in the sides. But otherwise, it's really nice. And that fan does indeed turn on. This kickstand, by the way, it feels kind of like pudding as you pull it out. But yeah, that's it for my initial impressions and unboxing. Take care, everyone. Peace out.